Welcome to Airborne, live from AirVenture in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I'm Ashley Hale. LSAs and ultralights top the news from Oshkosh today, with Quicksilver announcing new owners and new pilot centers opening for flight design. NTSB Chair Deborah Hersman held a forum for EAA members, and Rotax announces a digital control unit for its new 912 IS engine. We'll have the third installment of Jim Campbell's 5-part interview with EAA President and CEO Rod Hightower, and then hear from Kestrel President and CEO Alan Klapmeier. For Wednesday, July 25th, it's Airborne live on Aero-TV. Quicksilver Manufacturing said in a news release Wednesday that they have become Quicksilver Aeronautics, with new owners who plan to take the company many new directions. They say, quote, "One of the most storied names in light aviation is poised to offer pilots fresh choices and familiar designs." Escutia and Daniel Perez are the new co-owners of Quicksilver Aeronautics, LLC. The company will continue to be operated out of Temecula, California. Streamline Design has been hired to evaluate its readiness to introduce several models as light sport aircraft, while continuing to offer kit aircraft. Flight Design USA announced Wednesday it is adding to the number of places where new pilots can be trained. The Connecticut company has a 31-outlet network of representatives and flight schools, and those that are Flight Design pilot centers have modern CT series aircraft available for flight instruction and rental. The pilot centers also use flight training materials made specifically for flight design. Bendix-King has a new way for pilots to do flight planning and simplify flight operations: the My Wingman app for the Apple iPad. The app provides full en-route navigation on a moving map display, real-time weather information, and synthetic vision for improved flight navigation and safety. My Wingman also features an advanced synthetic vision system, pre-flight planning, including a unique smart routing function, and sophisticated weather capabilities. At a news conference Tuesday, Rotax Engines announced that its 912 IS engine will be equipped with a digital engine control unit developed by Rockwell Collins. The Rockwell system integrated with this engine includes dual fuel injectors per cylinder, dual ignition coils, as well as dual generators. The engine received ASTM certification on July 16th and expects to receive a full production type certificate in August, with FAR 33 certification expected to come shortly thereafter. NTSB Chair Deborah Hersman held a forum today, her first at Oshkosh, outlining many of the board's functions and giving an overview of some of the recent studies conducted by the body that had a GA focus. Aero-TV's Tom Patton talked with the NTSB chair following her presentation.
Chairman Hersman, thank you so much for joining us for a few minutes on Aero-TV and for being here at Oshkosh. Talk to us a little bit about how the NTSB relates to general aviation safety and also in the experimental and amateur built categories.
Well, at the NTSB, we're charged with investigating every civil aviation accident. And so, of course, we do our job, but it's more than that. It's personal for us. We have 32 pilots who have built or restored their own aircraft, and we have about 50 pilots total that own their own aircraft. And so for us, we have a lot of pilots, we have a lot of home builders, we love aviation, we love being at Oshkosh, and it's really to talk to people about lessons that we've learned to make sure that we don't see the same types of accidents occur again, and also to listen to them and listen to what their concerns are about safety.
Let's talk about some of those safety concerns because, as you said in your presentation a few minutes ago, there are a lot of accidents in the GA community, proportionately far higher than in commercial or business aviation. What are the kinds of findings that you have at the NTSB?
You know, we investigate about 1,500 accidents and incidents a year at the NTSB, and we see over 400 fatalities in general aviation. And even though general aviation represents only about 50% of the flight time, it represents about 97% of the fatalities. And so our concerns are, why are those accidents occurring and what can we do to prevent them? So we've held a number of events this year, 2 forums on GA, or general aviation safety, and also search and rescue. But also we conducted a study on experimental amateur built aircraft. and we've made some recommendations in that area.
Chairman Hersman, you also recently released some recommendations following that tragic accident at Reno. How is that being received, and what were some of those recommendations?
You know, we made recommendations following the Reno accident that occurred last September. We made them in April of this year, and we really wanted to give the organizers time to make changes before the next air race in September. We made recommendations focused on the pilots, on the aircraft, and on the race course design. And we have really received very positive feedback from the organizers about making some changes. And in fact, they're already doing some of that. And so we're pleased to see many of those things may be in place and in fact completed before the air races in September.
And on maybe just a little bit of a lighter note, how do you find Oshkosh?
I love Oshkosh. What's not to love about Oshkosh? I think the only thing that I would change is maybe not rain. And so, but
a little cooler too.
Yeah, well, a little cooler. I think people can handle the heat, but I've seen a lot of people that need to be wearing their sunblock. So, but you know, it's amazing to be here with so many aviators who are so enthusiastic, see these beautiful aircraft, and to see the flight shows. And I think the air shows, they really show us, you know, the most amazing things about what people fell in love with aviation.
Debbie Hersman with the NTSB, thank you so much for joining us on Aero-TV.
Thank you for having me.
Acting FAA Administrator Michael Huerta was scheduled for a media briefing Wednesday afternoon, but that appearance was canceled with little explanation. He is still scheduled for a general session Thursday, but questions at that session will be moderated by EAA personnel. When we come back, you'll see the third installment of ANN Editor-in-Chief Jim Campbell's conversation with EAA President Rod Hightower. You're watching Airborne live on Aero-TV.
Aero-TV's live coverage of AirVenture 2012 is brought to you in part by Aspen Avionics, a new way to look at avionics, and by Concord Battery, the heart of your aircraft.
The 1X kits continue the sonex tradition of providing the best performance per dollar kits, period.
Flightline presents the Oracle Engine Monitoring System, STC primary for twin-engine aircraft and soon to be joined by turbine and rotorcraft options. Oracle provides unparalleled reliability and functionality. Oracle, the best co-pilot you'll ever have.
As a plug-and-play replacement for existing 430s, the IFD 440 FMS GPS Navcom features a hybrid touchscreen control which makes it much easier to access the information you want when you want it. Now you have a choice, and the choice is easy. Abaddon.
The Evolution Flight Display System from Aspen Avionics delivers unique reliability and safety features to GA pilots and is truly the most flexible and affordable EFIS available. Aspen Avionics, a new way to look at avionics. You might be solo, but not alone when you choose to fly with Bendix-King. Today, the freedom of flight can become clouded by complex technology. At Bendix-King, we're working to make the pilot's job easier by developing products around safe, simple, and confident operations. Visit us at EAA AirVenture Oshkosh Hangar B, booth 2162, to see what's new in our product line, or visit us at bendixking.com.
This Aero-TV segment is sponsored by ForeFlight, makers of intelligent apps for pilots. Best-in-class design and our fanatical pilot support make ForeFlight Mobile aviation's most popular app.
This is Airborne live on Aero-TV. I'm Ashley Hale. Earlier this week, ANN's Editor-in-Chief Jim Campbell had an opportunity to sit down one-on-one with EAA President and CEO Rod Hightower for a look at the state of the organization. In this segment of the interview, which is running each night this week during Airborne, they talk about concerns expressed by EAA members that the organization is getting away from its roots.
There's been some hubbub among the kit manufacturers where some believe that EAA is looking more toward a general aviation spectrum and less toward sport aviation and most particularly experimental amateur built. It's given rise to the establishment of Aircraft Kit Manufacturers Association, one of the most respected members of the kit building community and certainly one of the most prolific involved in that. Is EAB still one of the forefront concerns of EAA, and how does the guy out there building his Kit Fox or building his Glasair or building his RV know that EAA is going to back him up in the future?
Well, first of all, EAB is the roots of our organization. When Paul founded the EAA, it was to promote aviation and flying and building and share that love of aviation and passion of aviation amongst a group of friends. And what Paul will tell you himself is that group of friends began to grow and grow and grow. So first of all, the EAB movement has always been at the heart of the organization and will always be. I think what a lot of folks have a hard time sometimes understanding is when you acknowledge members' wishes that say, hey, broaden your spectrum of coverage of aviation. Sometimes some groups will say, oh, I'm getting less. Well, in fact, maybe that's a misperception. We made a strategic decision to improve our magazine. So phase one, way back in January of 2010, was expand the feature well and expand the content capability of the magazine. It got bigger. Phase two was expand our coverage of general aviation. We did that in October of 2011. And the response from the membership has been overwhelmingly favorable. We have a tremendous amount of support and response from the members on the quality and the content of the magazine. Got it right. The EAB community says, well, the magazine got bigger. That magazine is now 88 pages big. Our content for EAB and amateur building is still the same and growing, not getting any smaller. The magazine got bigger, but our content's not getting smaller. So I think there's a lot of reaction to that. And I want to assure everybody in the EAB community it's absolutely front and center in our strategies at EAA. We spend a tremendous amount of our time in advocacy on behalf of the EAB movement. EAA is the organization that advocates on behalf of EAB. Not only is it fun, exciting, and innovative, but it gives you the ability and the freedom to fly the way you want to fly, whatever that may be.
There's also been some heartburn about the announcement and the brochure that's been circulated now ad infinitum on the Chalet project, and the fact that it ostensibly takes up a fair amount of the flight line areas where people used to either park their airplanes or watch the air shows and so forth and so on. You're being accused of catering to a higher dollar crowd than the rank and file that's coming in with their easy chair under their arm and so forth. What do you say to that?
Well, first of all, I think we're going to hear that for a long time. We've heard it for 60 years. You know, I have a little comfort in my counsel with Paul himself. Paul says, well, the first time I took money from a businessman is when I had my first complaint about being too commercial. I can assure you that it's not new news. But here's something I think a lot of members maybe don't always see or don't always appreciate, and that is we really do, this place is really for and about the member. It is all about promoting aviation. It's all about the world's largest aviation event. But more important than that, it's our membership convention. It's ours. But what it's done over the years is it's grown into this world's largest aviation event, world's largest air show, world's largest general aviation marketplace. So it has these dynamics that have taken shape over years. As the constituents that come here, all of the people that come here from around the world, they will tell you they all have unique needs. We spend a lot of time talking about the visitor experience at AirVenture. Boy, it's a big place. You know, we're spread out over 1,400 acres. It's kind of tough to move around this place sometimes. So what we are spending more time doing, especially in the last 18 months, is understanding that visitor experience. How do I make it better? And that visitor experience has a spectrum to it. It has everything from corporate giants of the names in aviation that we all know and love, all the way to the mom and pop businesses, which are so prevalent in aviation or any other niche segment. They all have a place here. They all have a place. So our philosophy of welcoming everybody says we need to provide services for everybody that want to come here and enjoy themselves. And that's what we try to do. Do we get it perfect every time? No, we're not going to get it perfect every time, but we're sure going to do our very, very best to strike that balance. One of the things that I have here is I have a space limitation. You know, as big as this place is, we're kind of running out of room. One of my favorite things to do is to take a look at each year's annual photograph from overhead. It is amazing. So if you lay those photographs, Jim, out over time and you look back in history, this site has evolved. Like it's an amazing thing. But when you look at the site, it's space constrained a little bit to a certain degree. So we're going to do our very best to strike the balance of making sure that we protect that legacy and honor that legacy and honor the things that we've all loved and come used to, but also make room for everybody. That's what we're trying to, that's the balance that we're trying to strike.
This is Airborne live on Aero-TV. We'll be back in just a moment.
Aero-TV's live coverage of AirVenture 2012 is brought to you in part by BRS Aviation, defining aviation safety, and by Waco Aircraft, reviving the golden age of aviation.
Concorde Platinum Series batteries are available for all aircraft and offer extra cranking power, resulting in less draw on the battery per cycle for longer life. Visit booth 2053 at Oshkosh. Concorde, for the heart of your aircraft.
276 and counting. That's the number of lives saved so far by the revolutionary BRS airframe parachute. See and read why BRS can keep you safe at www.brsparachutes.com. Waco Classic Aircraft carries on the proud tradition of the open cockpit biplane, exhilarating to fly, beautiful to behold. With its classic graceful design, the Waco YMF 5D is custom built for each owner. Learn more at www.wacoaircraft.com. Powerful and reliable sport plane engines can be cost-effective. Check out the amazing Viking 110 power plant at www.vikingaircraftengines.com.
Since the early days of powered flight, pilots have struggled with landing in crosswinds. In fact, crosswinds and wind gusts cause more landing accidents than fog, thunderstorms, and icing combined. That's where the Redbird X-Wind SE comes in. By placing pilots in gusty crosswind conditions for extended periods of time, the X-Wind SE gives instructors all the time they need to teach the pilot the proper techniques for landing in crosswind conditions. For more information on Redbird X-Wind SE and Redbird's entire line of flight training devices, visit www.redbirdflightsimulations.com.
Welcome back to Airborne live on Aero-TV. No matter who you ask, it's been a difficult 4 years for general aviation. But are the economic skies starting to clear? Earlier today, ANN's editor-in-chief Jim Campbell talked with Kestrel Aircraft President and CEO Alan Klapmeier about what it takes to survive in GA in these hard economic times.
Alan Klapmeier, welcome to Oshkosh 2012. It's like you haven't done this before, right?
It is always fantastic to be at Oshkosh, even when it's hot. But yeah, I've done it a few times before and happy to be back again.
But I wanted to pitch you with one specific question, which is kind of on the tip of the tongue of a lot of people right now because it seems to be changing. What does it take right now to be successful in general aviation?
Interesting and very broad question. I think that whenever people talk about what does it take to be successful, the first place that we should start is thinking about why we would be successful, about general aviation as an industry. And what I always tell people, and I really strongly believe, is that general aviation products have the potential to bring huge value to the individuals that buy the products, to the economy, the society, the world in general. I mean, this kind of mobility, this kind of flexible transportation, this kind of fun really has a fantastic place. But obviously, we haven't seen that growth that many of us would expect. And so the question would be, are we right? Does it have this kind of positive future or not? If we're right, what are we doing wrong? Your question. What does it take to be successful? I think we need to focus more on customer value. We don't think enough about the customer. We tend, as an industry, to sit back and say, what we do is good for you, and it's obvious, and that you should just know it, and you should choose to come to us. Instead, we really do need to do a better job of educating the people that are already in the industry, and more importantly, the people that are outside the industry. We're a little too insular. We talk to ourselves. One of the things I love about this show is that Oshkosh is a very open, friendly place. We get a lot of people who come to Oshkosh who, while they have an interest in aviation, they aren't what we would say are part of the industry. They don't fly, they're not pilots, they don't do anything actively in aviation. But they have that passion. Someplace deep inside of them, they've said, I've always been interested in airplanes. And when they get here, they see the whole variety. Just about anything you could want to see in aviation, you can see here this week. But we still have to reach out beyond that. Here at Oshkosh, we need to greet those people better. We need to educate them. We need to make sure we don't ever treat them as if they're the uneducated. And then we need to reach out beyond that. You know, I'd love to see airports doing a better job of talking to their neighbors about why the airport is valuable to them. And we also need to remember that they don't need to learn to fly to be worth convincing. We need to educate them about why aviation is good for them, whether they're a pilot or not. We need the airports. The best way to educate is to demonstrate. Show people how fantastic airplanes can be. Take them for a ride in a J3 Cub. Go zipping cross country in a jet, you know, go fly a biplane. All this stuff is fantastic. And people just don't see that often enough. They don't get it. I often use it as an example, and a day I remember very, very well, which is now 25 years ago, taking an attorney for a ride who had never been in a small airplane. And what we didn't do is say, let me show you how to fly this airplane. We just said, let's go fly around and have some fun. And in about 1 hour, we flew around an area that you couldn't drive in a day. It was a gorgeous blue sky, calm day, no turbulence, visibility of the horizon. And he spent the whole flight going, this is glorious, I never imagined it, this is glorious. And that kind of emotion, when you see that, you're going, oh, there's something here we're doing right. How do we package that? How do we communicate that to more people? If we do that, we can be successful. Obviously, there's all of the execution steps. There's all of the necessary financings. And each of these is a dilemma unto themselves. But it starts with communicate that joy of flying.
When we come back, a quick trip around Oshkosh Aero-TV style. I'm Ashley Hale, and you're watching Airborne live on Aero-TV.
Aero-TV's live coverage of AirVenture 2012 is brought to you in part by ECLIPSE Aerospace, the most efficient jets on the planet, and by ForeFlight, intelligent apps for pilots. 276 and counting. That's the number of lives saved so far by the revolutionary BRS airframe parachute. See and read why BRS can keep you safe at www.brsparachutes.com.
Avidyne is the brand of choice for pilots who want innovative, easy-to-use avionics, and the new IFD 540 and 440 FMS GPS navcoms set a new standard for ease of use and simplicity. As plug-and-play replacements for legacy 530 and 430 series navigators, the hybrid touch user interface of the IFD 540 and IFD 440 makes it much easier to access the information you want while reducing head-down time, and making flying more enjoyable. Now you have a choice, and the choice is easy. Avidyne.
Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
Aspen's trailblazing Evolution 2000 and 2500 systems offer an exclusive total backup capability that steam gauges and competing blasts just can't match. With full PFD capability built into the MFD and dual redundant backup batteries, Aspen's Evolution system offers the only glass panel that can effectively eliminate heavy, unreliable steam instruments. Aspen Avionics, a new way to look at avionics. The Oracle Engine Monitoring System offers primary replacement for all engine instrumentation. Certified for most piston GA aircraft, the Oracle will soon be certified for fixed-wing turbine and rotorcraft aircraft. Oracle, the best co-pilot you'll ever have.
Sonex aircraft, the best performance for dollar, period.
This is Aero-TV's live coverage of AirVenture in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you tonight with a hint of the variety of flying machines here at Oshkosh this week, and some of the people that fly them. And that's just some of what was happening at AirVenture today. Tomorrow, Jim Campbell talks with Hightower about the future of the LSA segment of sport aviation. Of course, there's a lot more on aero-news.net, so don't forget to check out the site. I'm Ashley Hale, and we'll see you tomorrow night on Airborne, live from AirVenture in Oshkosh. Thanks for watching.
Aero-TV's live coverage of AirVenture 2012 is brought to you in part by the following sponsors. Waco Classic Aircraft now offers the Great Lakes 2T1A2. Inspired by the classic YMF-5D, it's smaller but with 180 horsepower, simpler avionics, and fully aerobatic. Waco lets you fly simply for the fun of it. www.wacoaircraft.com.
This Aero-TV segment is sponsored by ForeFlight, makers of intelligent apps for pilots. Best-in-class design and our fanatical pilot support make ForeFlight Mobile aviation's most popular app.
Ultra Electronics Flightline Systems presents the Oracle, offering intelligent power management for single and twin piston engine aircraft, and soon to be available in fixed-wing turbine and rotorcraft versions. Visit www.ultra-oracle.com for more information. Are you ready for the next generation of light sport airplanes? Check out the all-new Bristol. Fun, fast, and easy to fly. Learn more at www.bristol.com.
Redbird Flight Simulations is dedicated to revolutionizing flight training by designing, manufacturing, and delivering affordable and innovative flight training technologies. Each Redbird device is designed to enhance the training experience for pilots of all levels, from student to ATP. Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
276 and counting. That's the number of lives saved so far by the revolutionary BRS airframe parachute. See and read why BRS can keep you safe at www.brsparachutes.com.
Concorde Platinum Series batteries are available for all aircraft and offer extra cranking power, resulting in less draw on the battery per cycle for longer life. Visit booth 2053 at Oshkosh. Concorde, for the heart of your aircraft.
The 1X kits continue the sonex tradition of providing the best performance per dollar kits, period.
Bright, light, and affordable. Sandia Aerospace presents the STX-165 Mode AC Transponder. Check it out at www.sandia.aero. You might be solo, but not alone when you choose to fly with Bendix-King. Today, the freedom of flight can become clouded by complex technology. At Bendix-King, we're working to make the pilot's job easier by developing products around safe, simple, and confident operations. Visit us at EAA AirVenture Oshkosh Hangar B, booth 2162, to see what's new in our product line, or visit us at Bendix-King.com.
As a plug-and-play replacement for existing 430s, the IFD 440 FMS GPS Navcom features a hybrid touchscreen control which makes it much easier to access the information you want when you want it. Now you have a choice, and the choice is easy: Abaddon.
Powerful and reliable sport plane engines can be cost-effective. Check out the amazing Viking 110 power plant at www.vikingaircraftengines.com. Aspen offers the most flexible and affordable certified synthetic vision available. Evolution Synthetic Vision is now here. Customizable display layouts enhance the data you need for each phase of flight. built-in terrain warning system combines terrain and flight path marker coloring, caution and warning text, and an audio warning signal to alert you when terrain or obstacle hazards conflict with your flight path. Aspen Avionics, a new way to look at avionics.